Well, good morning. It's a gorgeous morning again this morning. And you know what? I'm just gonna run over and check the yellow tractor, make sure it doesn't have a flat tire. If it doesn't, this is gonna be, I think, the third day in a row we haven't had a flat tire on the tractor. Yeah, no, we're good. So I would say that fix was a success. So as you know, I've had a flat tire on that thing for like every second day for the last 3 years pretty much. But now I think I've actually got it fixed. And like, it's weird because despite all that historical failure, you know, I get 3 days of success and suddenly I'm like, I should own my own tire repair business. Morning, chickens. Get your breakfast in ya. You know, it's kind of scary. You probably can't see them. Can you hear them? Anyways, doesn't matter. Geese are starting to flock up. We've seen a dozen or more of them here this morning, and they're going north right now. I think they're just gathering. They're not getting ready for the big south thing, but they're just congregating with ill intent. Good morning, piggies. Oh, it's a good morning for some porridge, eh? You can just see over here we got this little pen, or this little hut, sorry, where they've been sleeping in there. They've been digging and burrowing and doing quite a bit of work. So what I want to do is I want to encourage that behavior kind of over here where the vegetation is. So I'm just going to grab the little hut, drag it over there, and then hopefully they can do some working and tilling because they've been meticulous. I mean, there's hardly a green thing in sight right here. But over here, there's still some work to do, and I want to encourage that behavior. So the other day when I moved these pigs into, I guess, this section of the garden, what I failed to do was harvest this zucchini plant in here. And I got in quite a bit of trouble with the wife over this, but anyways, it is what it is. I had to apologize and deal with it. But now I want them to get rid of this plant. And it's not something that's like really, you know, something they want to eat a whole bunch of, because I mean, it's not super appetizing. But maybe if they want to have a place to bed down, they'll do some work and root around and dig in there. So today's experiment, and it really is an experiment. So the pig shelter was back here. I've moved it to over here. The pigs are probably going to want to go back over here. But I'm taking advantage of the weather because today is going to be a pretty hot day, I think. So I want to put their shade over there where I want them to work. So it's just going to naturally encourage them. Why would I lay in the baking hot sun when I can come over here and lay in the shade? And I mean, I call that manipulating the pig, but I guess that's kind of what we want to do anyways. We want to put the pig to work and let its natural, you know, natural characteristics do stuff for us. You see now they're already kind of interested over there. Hopefully later in the day they come over and spend some time and do some digging over there. This morning I came in the chicken coop and I collected eggs, and I found this egg here. It's a little bit dirty, but right here. So it looks like a normal egg, right? Look at this. Yeah, it's squishy. So it's a good sign of a calcium deficiency, so somebody's not getting oyster shells. So I checked the feeders, and sure enough they are low on oyster shells. So we have a big tub of it here, right here, lots. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that filled up, and then hopefully we don't have any more of these squishy eggs. All right, so the topic came up today. Somebody wants to start a homestead, but they're hesitant to get on board with getting animals and stuff because not so much the workload, but like having the restrictions on whether or not you can go somewhere for an extended period of time. How do you manage like animal sitting and feeding and making sure that your animals are taken care of while you're away? I mean, any longer than like 2 or 3 days kind of thing, right? So very real struggle, you know, and it's not one that I think is without, you know, a meritable discussion. It depends what you want to really get out of it. Do you want to actually have a true blue by definition homestead where it's based on, you know, subsistence style agriculture with, you know, following some type of a sustainability model? Or do you just want to live, you know, have some peace and quiet in the country? They're two very, very different things. So the holy grail of homesteading, I guess, is to be entirely off grid, to raise enough meat for your family's needs and have a large enough garden, again, to fit your family's needs. And then from there, I guess, to have, you know, surplus so that you can even generate revenue, or at least be, you know, in kind of a neutral state where you can barter for other things that perhaps you need that you don't produce yourself. So the issue with that is it all comes with inputs. So you've got all these processes to manage, and do you have the time? Do you have the resources? Do you have the labor force to be able to pull this off? And so that's just on the day-to-day. That's never mind if I want to take a, you know, a week-long holiday and go visit somewhere where the weather's a little bit nicer. If you want to take off for a few days, now whoever you know, luckily enough to find a farm sit for you, they've now got to take on all that learning, all that workload overnight. Just over here by the pig encampment, I guess you could call it. And so I put that shelter there this morning in the hopes that they would move there at the spot where they nestle throughout the day over to here. And you can see it did get a little bit of attention, but not quite as much as what I want. So what I'm going to do, lure them with food. That ought to keep them interested for a while. So I have watched a couple of tutorials on this, on just getting pigs to create natural disturbances wherever they eat. So if you got like large bushes or brambles and things that, you know, it'd take a lot of work for you to kind of process and get rid of, just turn the pigs loose on it. And a great way to do that is to throw some snacks in there. Anyways, back to how the hell do you take a vacation when you own a homestead, especially when you got animals? Well, I honestly believe that if you're trying to start a homestead, you're not going to be able to do it without the support of your friends and family. And it's not one of those things where it takes a village. It's not like shared responsibility, but there is a lot of stress that comes with it. So if you've got friends or family that are, you know, let's say like-minded individuals, maybe, you know, they shared interests, things like that, and you can keep your processes simple, right? You want to go away for a couple of days, do as much prep work as you can so that if they're going to come in and do chores for you and help you out, it's not just, you know, it's not rocket science. It's not a 30-step program just to get chores done in the morning. So the last time we went away for an extended period of time, we went as an entire family. And so we had some friends of ours come and do the chores around here. And yeah, we wanted to make it as simple as possible. So the first thing we did, like way back earlier in the year, was set up our meat chicken butchering day to be well before we went on vacation. So about a week, I think it was about a week before we left, we butchered all the meat chickens. So that was one less job to have to do. We also, I mean, we got the bulk feed bags, but we filled bulk feed containers and took it right out to where the animals are, the chickens and the sheep and so on, the pigs. So all they had to go there was just go and get a couple of scoops of dry feed, toss it in, away you go, check the water, and done for the day. And so I wouldn't be too hesitant to get involved with animals. Animals are a lot of fun. They can be a lot of work for sure, but it's a great way to expand your homestead, and it's also a great way to provide, you know, good quality feed for your family. Anyways, I'm just about to head into the chicken coop here and get today's eggs, and then I'm gonna go inside and get myself a cup of tea for the evening. So I'll let you go for now. I hope you have a fantastic night. Happy homesteading, and we'll see you tomorrow.